Tonight, on Untold Capers and Crime, we speak with a doctor who turned her license to heal into a license to exploit. She worked inside Prospect Clinic, which became a factory of pills, or a pill mill, as law enforcement referred to them at the time. She admits to feeding addiction, taking advantage of desperate patients, and destroying a community from the inside. To start, when you first started at the clinic, what was the atmosphere like?
I wasn't trained to be a criminal. I was trained to be a physician. But at the clinic, the lines blurred. People lined up outside before sunrise, cash in hand, begging, and I wrote the scripts, more than I ever should have. I told myself I was helping them manage pain. Truth is, I knew I was feeding an appetite that would never stop. Not at first, mind you, but in time, it's undeniable.
You knew they weren't sick. You knew they were dependent. Did you ever stop and say, enough?
I wasn't healing anyone. I was running a mill. I justified it by telling myself they'd just go to the next town if I said no. But I went further. I let their desperation become my bargaining chip. I let people trade what they had left of dignity for what I scribbled on a pad. I crossed every line. And hanging over it all were the reps. The drug company's people telling me pain was undertreated, telling me I was safe, telling me higher doses meant better care. They bought us meals, brought in glossy charts, even paid for conference weekends. They made it feel like pain medicine was big business and that we would be helping people. Years later, when I turned that prescription pad into a bargaining tool, it felt like I was just playing the game they built, like I was just another gear in their addiction machine. We wrote them out for everything. Back pain? Here's a prescription. Car wreck? ×2. Stubbed your toe? Why not? It isn't addictive. The studies said so, the doctors say so, and the drug company says so. It didn't take long for us all to realize it, though. They were all wrong. No, not wrong. As time would prove, lying. Just the sheer lengths that people would go through to get more made is clear. And like the company that makes this poison and the reps that helped us talk ourselves into this, we took full advantage. I can claim ignorance in the beginning, honestly. But over time, as the zeros in my bank account grew longer, even seeing that this was addicting and very harmful to these people, I became blinded. Even the feeling of control I had over these people was empowering in a way I never experienced.
It sounds almost like you enjoyed the harm you were causing. Did you know you were hurting these people?
It didn't start that way, of course, as most wish I wouldn't have stories go. I really did want to help people. I believed, and still do, that all pain should be treated with the best medication available. But that was years before working at Prospect, before what this drug does to people influenced how I viewed them, dismissing the fact that I was giving them the drugs.
Tell me about those patients, the ones most dependent. What did they say to you when they walked in the door?
They said anything I wanted to hear. I can't work without it, Doc. If you cut me off, I'll lose my kids. Please, I'll do anything. And sometimes they meant it literally. It never happened to me, but there were a lot of rumors with the male doctors and patients having relations for prescriptions or favors. The patients were very open about what they were offering, and not just the favors. They offered secrets, even theft. It was like I was the dealer and the confessor rolled into one. And I knew, the more desperate they were, the more control I had. By the end, it was chaos. Patients lined up out the door, staff cutting corners, charts stacked to the ceiling. I was writing scripts so fast my hand cramped. But how the money rolled in. Had things continued without interruptions, we'd probably own mansions.
When they put their dignity in your hands, what went through your mind? And when you crossed that line, did you realize you were destroying more than just their health?
I stopped seeing them as people. That's the hardest part to admit. They became charts, bags of cash, and I told myself they chose it. But they didn't. Addiction chose it, and I preyed on that. Then came the raid, and the end. Feds stormed in, jackets marked DEA and FBI. The patients sat, stunned in the lobby. I knew it was over. I wasn't a doctor anymore. That diploma, all those hours, all those people I wanted to help, gone. I was now just a criminal with a stethoscope.
So when the agents cuffed you, was it relief? Did you think about the people you exploited? Or did you only think about yourself in that moment?
Looking back, it was relief in many ways. Relief that the game was up. I thought about the patients after, but in that moment, I thought about me. I thought about how I'd lost everything and deserved worse. And then the shame hit, that I'd traded my license, my reputation, and other people's lives for money, favors, and lies.
You say you accept responsibility, but do you truly? Or are you still hiding behind the drug company's lies and the clinic's greed?
If they were here now, I'd tell them I'm sorry. But sorry doesn't heal the damage. I built a business out of their desperation, and I'll carry that guilt till the day I die.
And if you could sit in front of those patients now, the ones you exploited most, what would you say to them?
I do accept it. I signed every script. I pocketed the cash. I looked people in the eye and told them I was helping when I was only locking their chains. People came in trusting me. I gave them hope on a pad of paper, but all I really gave them was a prison. The drug company sold the lie, the clinic cashed it in, and I put the pen to paper. I can't take it back. I can only admit the truth. I was part of turning a community into customers and patients into prisoners. The most difficult and painful part of this is weighing my role in sparking the fire that the opioid epidemic or crisis has become. The irony isn't lost on me that the drug that I helped get an entire region addicted to is far safer than what is out there now. When the powers that be began regulating these powerful opiates, it was too late. Every person who dies in some way from opioid addiction, whether by the drugs I got patients addicted to or not, I have a hand in. Prison stripped everything from me. No lab coat, no office, no waiting room full of desperate eyes, just silence. And in that silence, the faces come back. The ones who begged, the ones who traded everything for one more month, the ones who never woke up.
A doctor sworn to heal turned into a merchant of pain. At Prospect Clinic, addiction was currency, and desperation was exploited until it bled communities dry. This has been Untold Capers and Crime. Please like and share this video and subscribe to the channel.